Morning, everyone. How are we all today? I hope we're all fine. Let's have a wee look and see who's in. Say hello to a few people. Good morning, Alexandra. Good morning, Alan Arnott. Good morning, Alistair. Morning, Roddy McDonald. Morning, Rosie McGregor. Morning, June. Christina. Mel. Lorna. Gillian. Morning, Reagan White. Desiree. Scott, you missed yesterday's show because you were helping your daughter with a flood. That's fair enough, my friend. No naughty step for that one. Morning, Martin the Hippie. Margaret Hitchens. Hi, Linda. Morning, Lorraine. Sunny in Airdrie. Lucky Airdrie, it's no bloody sunny here and I'm only 7 miles away. But we'll get to that in a minute. Morning, Robert, up there in Oban. Morning, John O'Rourke. And Aki's first one in the door this morning. Right, let's roll this back down again. We'll get this one underway. Morning, Fiona. Morning, Ewan. Stephen. Dodger. Fuba. Hi, John. Right, let's get this underway, shall we? Indy Truck Davey at the truck not home in his office on the 24th of the 2nd, 2026, where it is currently 10 degrees. Today's high will be 12, very warm for the time of year. It's dry at the moment, overcast. There is rain in the forecast. Humidity's at 93%, wind speed 16 to 34 mile an hour, a wee breeze. Sunset will be at 17:38 tonight, and that gives us a total of 10 hours and 18 minutes of daylight here. Sunrise was at 7:20. And there is no pollen count, we're still in the thick of winter. Right, first up this morning is the National. So let's get the National up. It's got quite interesting headlines on it, actually. Here we go. The National. Too much of a good thing. The National speaks to people who think that we've got enough onshore wind farms and we shouldn't build any more. Well, as we're already overproducing electricity until we have it under our own control and selling it on the market for the public good, then why bother building any more? Just to supply England with a feed of electricity for no return to the people of Scotland. I just don't build any more now. Other main headline, Mandelson arrested, former ambassador to the US, held by police on suspicion of misconduct in public office. We'll get to that a wee bit further in, because that's the main headline of the day. But the one at the bottom cracks me up. Govey denies genocide in Palestine and calls Israel's critics wicked. Oh dear, where to start with that? Well, maybe wee Govey should lay off the cola. You know, he is, after all, known to like some of that powdered cola. He wants to maybe keep off it because it seems to have destroyed what's left of what little moral compass the little rat stroke snake had. Not that there was much in the first place. But wee Govey wants to stay off that dried out Coca-Cola. That's for sure. Right. Let's take a national down. And we'll get the next one up, which is the Scotsman. And the Scotsman lays it out quite bare this morning, actually, for Starmer's position. Starmer's crisis deepens as Mandelson arrested by Met. And, of course, Badenoch gets in the act and says this is, this is a pivotal point in his premiership. Will Starmer survive this? Probably. Will he survive the elections in May or the by-election in a couple of days' time? It's a different question. But he'll probably survive this scandal. Morning, Mr. Milligan. Right, next up we've got the Times. No, we haven't even got the Scum, and I don't put the Scum up. We'll move on to the Times in a minute. Okay, the Scum has, after Andy, now Mandy arrested, things can only get sweatier. Not bad for the Sun. You'd expect Murdoch and his crew to keep his head down the way, because no doubt he'll be in the files somewhere. Right, let's get the Times up. See what the Times has got for us today. And of course, we're back on Mandelson. Mandelson arrested over secrets passed to Epstein. Former ambassador to the US led away from London home on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Misconduct in public office. Is that what we call insider trading, passing state secrets, and treason these days? Is that what it's called? Misconduct in public office. Very good. So, commercial espionage apparently is misconduct in public office. Insider trading apparently is misconduct in public office. Treason apparently is misconduct in public office. Wonderful stuff. So you get wrapped in the knuckles for a misdemeanor, for some really serious crimes against the financial system, against the state, against the people, against the crown. Knight of the Realm today. Wonderful stuff. But misconduct in public office, that's what we're calling it. That's what we're calling it. Isn't that lovely? Right. Next up, we get a Daily Fail, I believe. You know, I should be angry at this, at how this has been phrased. But you know, I just can't. I like this one, but now Manderson faces the music. Days after Andy, ashen-faced architect of New Labour, is led away by police too. Now, why was him and Andy ashen-faced? Because they thought they were above the law. And of course, now that they are having to face some consequences, it would appear the law's decided they'll face minor consequences rather than trading in state secrets and treason. And in the case of Mandelson, insider trading and corporate espionage. In this case, the corporation that he was getting the information about too was the UK PLC and its monetary system. But no, none of that stuff's no important, no. They are going to have to be held to account for something. So there you go. Misconduct in public office. Minor misdemeanor. Rather than treason and espionage. Even when they've got to face the rule of law, they get the light touch. Next up will be The Guardian. And of course, it will be on the same story as well. But light touches for these people. They thought they were above the law and now they're going to have to be accountable. The law is going to go light on them. Misconduct in public office. Misconduct in public office. MI6 vetted him, David. Mandelson arrested on suspicion of misconduct over Epstein links. So that's the new name for, as I say, insider trading, passing state secrets, and of course treason. Any of the rest is, we would be up on treason and espionage charges, facing life sentences. This lot are facing parking ticket fines. Parking ticket fines. Fucking no real. Next up, we've got the Telegraph, better known as the Tory graph in this neck of the woods. Mandelson arrested. Labour grandee marched from his home over the Epstein scandal and defining moment of Starmer's premiership. He's got nothing right since he came to office. We're on the 14th U-turn, and political appointments he made, which should have been diplomatic appointments made by the diplomatic service, turned out to be a fucking disaster as well. It would appear that this guy just isn't a leader. He has no vision. He doesn't stand for anything. Or maybe he stands for Zionism and genocide. Right. What's next? Labour have been a bloody disaster in office. A disaster. Starmer, Reeves, you name it. Well, next up should be the eye, but it's not there, so I better go and grab it. Two seconds, please, folks. We'll just get the eye for you. Right, next up's the eye. It's on the same story, of course. Mandelson arrest sparks jeopardy for number 10. Will Starmer survive this? Well, in the good old days, he'd already fell on his sword. But there is no honour amongst thieves anymore. Will he survive it? Probably. As I say, whether he'll survive the by-election in 2 days or whether he'll survive the elections in May, that's a different question. Right, down with the eye. Hopefully the metro's where it's meant to be. Nope, better go grab it. Just as well, it's right below the eye. Okay, next up we'll get Metro. It's got a better front page today. The Metro tells us that the meat grinder going on in between Russia and Ukraine has been running for 4 years, and it's been 4 years of tears. No doubt it has been for families on either side of that brutal conflict. No doubt whatsoever. And police come for Mandelson. 4 years. 4 years that war's been raging in Ukraine. The death toll is unbelievable. And the count increases every day. Every day. The costs to the people of Ukraine and Russia have been massive. In blood and economic damage. Shows you that mankind's not really evolved that much when we're still hitting each other out of the top of fucking the head with big sticks, metaphorically speaking, because they're no sticks anymore, they're explosives. They're projectiles. But metaphorically, we're still clumping on each other out of the head with sticks when it comes to a bloody dispute. It would appear we haven't evolved very much. Right. After the Metro, we've got the Herald. And that's often a different story altogether today. Mandy doesn't even get a mention, really. Now, the Herald has mother launches legal claim after daughter's brain injury. And the health board failed to get apparently to heed mother's warnings that something was wrong in the hours in the run up to the baby's birth by an emergency caesarean section. Now, the young mother, Caitlin Pratt, aged 27, of the Lothians, to say she's suing NHS Lothian for which she says was she was being ignored about problems she thought she was having, and the child was subsequently born by a caesarean section who was severely brain damaged and unfortunately died. So this young lady thinks there was malpractice went on at St John's Hospital in Livingston, and she's suing the health board. Not a good news story for the public services or for that young lady. Right, next up we've got Looney Raggy Express. What's the Express got for us this morning? I think we might be back on Monday. No, we're no. Although Manderson is on the front page and all right enough. But it's a broadcaster failed to omit Tourette's campaigners' involuntary outburst from ceremony. So apparently the BBC's had to apologise for no snipping that for its TV coverage when the fella who's the Tourette's campaigner and sufferer inadvertently busted something out. I think it was in the racial sort of lines. I don't know. I don't watch TV. It's only what I see in the papers here. So being forced to apologise for a racial slur at BAFTAs. As I say, I don't watch it telly, so I don't know anything about it. Just what I read in the papers, and that is that the Tourette's campaigner that was there suffers with Tourette's and had an outburst which was racial. And the BBC apparently should have cut it for its TV coverage, but didn't they? Right, let's get that done. And that means there's only one paper left to look at, and that's the Star. And we'll get to that in a wee minute once I put my book down. Now, the Star, like the Herald, is on a medical story this morning. But the Star's on a good news medical story, a joyful medical story. So we'll put it up. Meet Hugo, the UK's first dead womb donor baby. Our little miracle. Mum Grace, she'll live through him. And when Mum Grace is saying she'll live through him, that is the person who died and donated her womb to make this little bundle of joy, Hugo, possible. So it would appear that womb transplants work, and they have arrived in our shores. And hopefully it will help many, many people who are struggling to have children to find that joy in life. If if that's what they're after. Okay, but that is a good news story. Our little miracle. And all these medical advances are miracles. And as human fertility is in decline, any breakthrough is good news. Oh, they didn't. Thank you, Sir Larry. I wouldn't have known that. I wouldn't have known that. So they didn't cut the N word, but they did cut Free Palestine chants. Well, we have said that the BBC's been complicit in playing these bloody culture wars. And the Scotsman was Scottish was what did Jane? Yeah, June. As I say, miracle. And these stories are really good news stories. And anything that can help improve human fertility as it's in decline. Generally on the male side, right enough, but it's on decline. And of course, people are not having as many children because they can't afford it. You know, they just can't afford it. And you're right, David, there's no such thing as bad publicity. Right, that's what I've got for you today. But as I say, the Star had, to me, that's the best story we've had in the papers today. Lovely story. And I hope the child goes on to have a really fulfilling life. Right, that's it for the day. Young Reagan Elite will be following right after me. Great news, and the surgeon was Scottish. Oh, I've already read that one out. Thanks, June. Thanks. As I say, thanks very much for tuning in once again in huge numbers today. 147 at the present moment. It was up over 150. Now, say Young Reagan Elite's gone live at 11 o'clock. If you want to get some news from an English perspective. Now, you've had this Scottish take on the headlines. But I think the most interesting thing in the headlines today is the terminology misconduct in public office. So apparently that's what we're now calling a commercial or industrial espionage, passing state secrets, and treason. So if you're ever lifted for treason, and you never know, Milligan and I might be, because we always talk about being partners in treason. I'm going to say to the judge, well, it's only a misdemeanor. It's only a misdemeanor. I don't expect to get any more than a parking ticket here, fine here. I say, you can't charge me with that. You've got to charge me with misconduct in public office. Okay. So there you go. Right, guys. See you all tomorrow. 10:30. Don't be late. You'll be on the naughty step. Eyes on the prize. The prize is the 2026 election. And we're aiming for pro-independent supermajority and an SNP majority. Let's get our